Welcome to Rocking Abraham. Today I'm going to be discussing with you the former whore, okay? The slut, the harlot, the prostitute. They're reformed now. They're pretending to be born-again virgins, and they're now deciding to get God or something like that, and they're being deceptive about who they really are. And you need to be very, very careful of these kind of people, because they are swindlers, okay? They're trying to sell you a new car that's really just a used old car, okay? So here's the thing. They rode the cock carousel when they were teenagers. Maybe they're rebelling against their parents, whatever the purpose is. Then they get into their college years and decide they're going to ride it a little bit some, and then after college they're like, okay, this didn't really work out for me very well. Okay, so now they're deciding, okay, it didn't work before, so let's try something new. Okay, so it's not like they read the Bible and they're like, okay, I should really be drugged out, just like Deuteronomy 22:20 says, I should be drugged out and killed in front of my father's house. They're not saying that. Okay, these whores, these harlots, they're not saying, okay, I should be drugged out and killed like that. Okay, because I've already been a harlot. No, what they're saying is, I want to find a nice man who goes to church, who believes in the Bible, even the part about dragging her out and killing her before her father. Okay, and I'm going to marry that guy and let him be my fucking ATM, because it's likely that guy hasn't even read that part of the Bible yet. Okay, so, yeah. Okay, so, these people are stupid. Okay, they shouldn't even be in church, because if we were seriously following the laws of Moses, she could be drugged out and killed and stoned to death. Okay, that's the law of Moses. Okay, so you want to wait. I have a problem with this, because people like Brittany Pettibone, okay, she's basically saying she's going to wait for that new wonderful guy, but yet she's had plenty of guys before in her past because she was rebellious. So what if you're rebellious? If you already have been the whore before, there's no way that in your spirit you can possibly be a good person, because you're like Gomer, okay? When Hosea took Gomer out of prostitution, several years later, 3 kids later, she still decided she wanted to go back into that. She liked that carefree life. She enjoyed it, okay? She's going to miss it. You cannot disconnect your memories from your mind. You are a whore through and through for the rest of your life. Whether you play the part of a good person or not, it doesn't matter. Eventually, the whorism is going to pop out of your body again, because you were a bad fruit to begin with. And we know that you cannot make good fruit from bad fruit, okay? It's not possible. Only bad fruit comes from bad fruit. Good fruit comes from good fruit, okay? So you would be lucky if you married a guy who was a good fruit, because in the Bible it says that at least through them it's possible that they can get good fruit, okay? But there's always the possibility that you could always be bad fruit too, okay? So here's the thing. If you're going out on a date with a guy and you're a woman and you're wondering why the hell he's not paying, you know, for the stuff, and why is he not paying? Why does he make me pay for that dinner? Why does he make me pay for the movie? Okay, maybe he has a philosophy where it's not working in his past about going out on dates with girls and then just ripping them off, taking them serial daters, just taking them out, nothing happened, waste of money, waste of time, waste of energy. So maybe he's got a new philosophy now too. Okay, so you see, even a guy can have a philosophy about changing the normal. Okay, you are not normal when you say that you will not sleep with a guy after you've already slept with many guys before. Okay, it's not normal. It is not normal. There's something wrong with your head, okay, because you're still stuck on the past. There's some kind of baggage that made you change everything about how you interact with guys now. So something like maybe you were raped or like maybe a guy dragged you down into his dungeon or something, and like slashed you with some whips or something. Maybe you just had some kind of traumatic experience on a date with a guy or something, and now you've totally your mind is broken. Okay, you're not normal. Okay, once you have already had sex with guys, treating other guys like they're worthless and they're not going to get the vegetable. Okay, they're treating other guys like they're not going to get some of that badge. That's not normal. Okay, because you've already given it out to many guys. Okay, so this is my problem with you, is you're being deceptive. Okay, you're being downright awful to those new guys that you're dating, because if you're dating those guys and those guys expect that you're going to be sleeping with them in 3 dates or whatever, you don't give out, then you're basically just a serial dater to them. Okay, you can dump them on a whim for nothing, for no reason. Okay, and it's just not turning out. Oh, he's too pushy, or whatever comes to your mind. But the thing is you were the sour grapes to begin with. You were the thorn bush to begin with. Okay, because of your attitude. You've already given it up to guys before. So a guy is going to come into a relationship and he's going to wonder why he's not getting some from you while you gave it to somebody else. Is he less than those guys? Do you think differently of him now? Is he not as bad as those guys? Should he be a bad boy like those other guys? Should he be really bad person in order for you to become attractive enough to him to sleep with him? Does it have to be that every guy has to be bad in order for you women to treat us the same? So this could be in the guy's head is, why me? Why am I different? Why am I being treated more awful? Okay, so this is precisely what I'm telling you. Okay, if you're the woman out there, you need to not trick men. Okay, and then also, is it ugly? Is there something wrong with that? Is it like there's something wrong with that vegetable? What's going on with that? Is it like the lips like hang out like an inch out of the pussy or something like that? It's like disgusting looking. Is it like a bush, like a jungle you can get lost in? Is it like a huge mountain, like a mound or something like that? That just looks awful. Okay, so if you're not going to be willing to pop the hood of the car, if you're trying to sell a used car and you're not going to try to pop the hood, let the person see what's in the engine, not allow him to rev up the engine, not even test drive that, then you're going to have a difficult time selling that, because basically the person is going to wonder about you. You're being deceptive from the very beginning. You're being deceitful. Okay? Now, did you like those other guys more than him? This could be in the guy's head too. Did you like the other guys more than him? You gave it up to them. You didn't give it up to him. So, of course, this is on the mind of a guy. Okay. STDs. Do you have an STD? Is this why you're being reserved? Okay. It's possible. Okay, you could have an STD and you're pretending to be conservative because you want to hook a guy into marriage while you have an STD. And then a couple years later, you'll find out you have STD and it's already too late. He's hooked for the money already. So, once you're basically a whore, you're always a whore. Let me put it in an analogy, okay? You're like a taxi. You've already given people rides before on the taxi, and now you are deciding that no, I'm not going to let anybody ride this taxi ever again. I am going to sell the taxi entirely. Okay? I'm going to sell this taxi, and this is how I'm going to do it. I'm not going to let anybody look under the hood. I'm not going to let anybody take a test drive. I'm not going to let anybody ride in the back. Okay? This is how I'm going to sell my car. My used taxi. Okay, and then I'm going to put a fresh paint job on it, and I'm going to call it new. Okay, bullshit. Bullshit. You're a liar, a deceiver, deceptive, and a disgrace to all humanity. Okay? At least the others are more honest than you. You're the most dishonest of the dishonest people, even though you're trying to pretend like the victim card here or something. You're the most dishonest and deceitful kind of person. Okay? You're disgusting. If you want a career with God, you want to give up your life of harlotry for God, then become a nun. Okay? Don't go after good guys. And so for us guys, we need to be on guard against these kind of deceitful creatures. Okay? Because we're not supposed to be marrying harlots. Okay? It says it in 1 Corinthians 6:16. Okay? Never marry a harlot. Parable of 10 virgins, Jesus himself is talking about virgins being married to a bridegroom. Okay, he's not talking about harlots. He's not talking about whores. He's talking about the virgins. Okay, and these virgins themselves needed to be prepared for marriage. If they weren't prepared for marriage, they did not bring the oil. Okay, an analogy of the oil is it lights the lamp. The lamp is the fire that burns the fire in the household. So if a woman's already used up her oil for another man, she doesn't have the oil, okay? And you cannot go to the market and buy new oil. There is no market. The market doesn't exist. That is the conundrum in this story of the parable of 10 virgins. Okay? So a woman who's a virgin has enough oil for her husband for the rest of her life. The others do not. It's simple. That was the analogy. That is the takeaway from the parable of 10 virgins. Okay? And the second is she prepared. Okay? Has she prepared for the marriage? Okay? So the oil must be there. Okay? She must have the oil. She must have been prepared, or it's not going to work. It just simply won't work. And so let this be a warning to many guys out there. There's even in the Old Testament, they tell you not to marry prostitutes. And there's many examples. You have the warning of like Gomer, okay, and the crafty harlot, okay. If you have no choice, you must marry a woman, okay. You cannot be celibate. And then there's nothing wrong with being a celibate. God said, he who was able to accept it, let him accept it. Okay, so there's nothing wrong with that. But if you can't, your best option would be to marry like a young virgin, under 18 virgin. And where can you possibly find that? You can't find that in the Western world, can you? So that would mean you would have to be shopping overseas. Okay? Possibly from a poor country. The poorer the better, because if you get a woman who's poor, it's unlikely that she could ever get like the hymen restoration. Guys can be tricked. Guys can be fucked over by the women and the family courts. And that's why I think there should be absolutely no alimony, absolutely no child support, because a woman could have tricked the guy into doing things that he did not want. And that in and of itself means that the contract should have been broken. Because if marriage is truly a contract, okay, it's not marriage is no longer a union, okay? Because remember, individualism, feminism has brought individualism into the marriage. Even they have a UN woman saying that the woman has right, even in marriage, to her own body. So therefore, everybody in the marriage is individuals, and it's only a contract of what? The guy has to pay? It's only a contract that the guy has to pay something? No. If there's no contract that the guy can't get any sex, like the Bible says, the body belongs to the guy, and the guy's body belongs to the woman. Okay, it doesn't say individualism. But since there is no holy union, okay, since marriage is no longer holy, okay, it is no longer two. Okay, it's no longer like a business merger where there's two businesses merged together. Okay, so it's individualism. Okay, so therefore marriage doesn't really even exist. The only thing it is you are signing away assets and resources to a woman. So we already know marriage doesn't exist. It's unholy. And you do not give to dogs what is holy. Okay, you do not give to dogs what is holy, and you do not cast your pearls before swine. Okay, so stay single, and if you absolutely have to marry somebody, make sure she's coming from an extremely poor country and she's a virgin. Okay, there you go. And she's young. Anybody can be hooked on this stuff without their permission. This is not something that is equality. Okay, because you've been tricked into something. If you've been tricked into a contract, that automatically means that the contract is void because you were you were tricked into it. Okay, there was duress. So, like in any contract, but the courts are not honoring that part of the deal. They do not believe in the duress part of the contract anymore. They're ignoring that on the guy's part. So there's this huge bigotry against guys and misandry against us because if we ever go to the courts, we're forced, and 90% of the time, to pay alimony and child support. Okay, and give up our house, and you got to go live in some small house because or something like that. So it's very ridiculous. Anyhow, that's all I have to say about on this subject. Be careful, very, very careful.